What's up, everyone? Let's take a look at the market recap, how we traded it today. Obviously, for the last 3-4 days, I've been telling you to buy the dip in risk. And today, markets rallied nicely. We took profits on the S&P, NASDAQ, and US 30 Dow Jones futures and CFDs. I'm actually also going to show you one of the clients' FTMO account, which is a prop firm that he's using autocopying services to trade that account, and he's making pretty decent bucks just doing nothing actually. So just going based off ApexBull.com signals. So let's dive in. Welcome to the market recap. Today we're going to take a look at S&P 500. We're going to take a look at NASDAQ. We're going to take a look at US 30 and gold and even Bitcoin. So how did we do? Well, first of all, what trades we took. As if you've been following me for the last few days, we've been accumulating all the way from here, from the bottom here, all the way down here. We've been buying S&P, NASDAQ, and US 30 Dow Jones. So YM, NQ, ES for the futures traders. So what's next is the big picture. Today, we got exactly the relief rally we're expecting. Obviously, this is just might be the beginning. However, right now, tomorrow is Friday, so it's going to get very interesting. The easy money, I think, for now has been made because now we are approaching very heavy resistances. For example, on NASDAQ, we finally got to the trend line. On US 30, we took out the trend line way before, and I was trading all of this and explaining all of this. Let me actually remove this now. The the breakout, retest, continuation pattern that we mentioned before. Now we're facing this horizontal resistance, right? So we are right smack at very heavy resistances. There's let's say, if this is a temporary bear market bottom where we're going to rally a little more before we roll over in the summertime, we can definitely expect, we can definitely maybe see another drive down and then drive up to create a larger head and shoulders. So this is going to be the inverted head and shoulders here, which will target this this trend line up on top around 34,000, whatever, whenever we'll get there. On the S&P, let's take a look at S&P. So S&P was obviously also beat up. The sell-off was steep. The market sentiment was extremely bearish, and that's why we started buying around here, because when you see, well, first of all, we had multiple divergences, that, but when market is so heavily positioned on one side and sentiment is extremely negative, usually this is where retail goes in. They watch too much CNBC and they get trapped. And this is exactly what happened. We play that trap, and this right now we'll have to see what happens next. Why do I say that? We just had a leg up. We can easily do, we've had those rallies before, one right here, one right here, one right here. So for me to start saying that this is some kind of bottom, I will need to see a higher high. So this is a low, this is going to be a higher low, this is going to be a high, and I need the price action to take off to create a higher high. So we get a higher high and a higher low, and that's when we see that there is some kind of bottoming pattern in play, because you can definitely see that usually it's just a leg up and then down, massive leg up and then down, leg up and down, leg up and down. So this might be just a leg up. So I'm not aggressively bullish anymore as I was here. We've made pretty decent money, and you can take a look at the FTMO screenshots for one of our clients that use ApexBull autocopying services. Just copying my trades basically, and the autocopying service allocates appropriate percentages to a lot of these accounts, and people just use prop firms to trade my signals, and they get paid for it. So more than welcome to try it out. We're offering a $7 trial right now for 7 days, and you basically set up your MT4, MT5 account, and we do all the auto copying. You don't even have to do anything. So if that's something that interests you, and if you've been following me, you see my track record, more than welcome to join as well. In any case, so let's take a look at what's going to happen. So tomorrow is Friday. So Friday we've been pushing up all of this week, and let me actually remove all this. The volume is pretty low, so this is not a massive move yet. Let's add volume to our indicators. Volume. So nothing to write home about. This was the sell-off volume, and this is look at this, for example. The previous bottom, this was it really did bottom, and then we rallied. We tried the lows, but we didn't take those lows because a lot of bulls were still sitting here. So we took it up, and then we had a very decent rally, right? But this one is a little anemic. Doesn't mean it cannot accelerate it into the end of the month. It can, but caution has to be there now when the easy money, so to speak, has been made. However, again, if we start closing below this level here, so if we have something like this, we have a close below, a retest and continuation, that's going to be uber bullish, and you will have to buy right here at this point. Once it retests and you see a continuation, that's going to be a signal of signals, because highly likely we're going to be targeting the 200-day moving average on Dow, and similar situation basically on S&P and other, whatever you trade, other indices. So NASDAQ, again, NASDAQ still has room to run. Why? Well, if you view this head and shoulders pattern, which is ugly as sin, but for the sake of this argument, this, if you measure the distance here, this targets the channel high. Well, before. Now we're almost there, and it targets actually this previous support, now turn resistance. So I think we have a very good chance, which is also, I think, a fib. Since this is not my primary chart, so let's actually. So 38.2 comes in right here, and so this is the previous low. I think we have a good chance of targeting here, and maybe a little higher, this previous support, turn resistance now around 13,000, 12,000, 13, almost 13,000, yeah, 12,900. So definitely room to go for NASDAQ before, and even if we go here and roll over, that means nothing because the trend is still intact. The trend is down, so we played this counter trend move. Now we're going to be looking at what resistance we can sell it. Tomorrow on Friday, I'm going to be playing it like this. I'm going to be trading a London Open. I'll see the momentum on the short-term time frame. I'm going to be basically sitting on a 5-minute chart and day trading this. Once the London opens, I want to see some kind of momentum. And you can see that 9:30 on the dot, orders came in, and we never seen, that's it. It just blew up right at 9:30. So I think similar situation was, we had a bullish positive moving average crossover. We ran up up to 4 a.m. And then we sold off a little bit of indecision, but we basically started the US session around 7 a.m. on the highs too from the European session, right, which started here. So that's going to be my day trading plan for NASDAQ or S&P or US 30, you pick one. They're all going to be pretty much similar. If we start seeing huge momentum on the 5-minute chart coming in, I'm going to hop on that. If we're going to get a sell-off, I'm going to skip the sell-off on Friday. So if we're going to trade to the downside, I am going to be on the sidelines. I'm only going to be looking for the bullish case to continue to take out the resistance for now. I think we are, like I said, we still have a little room to run, a little more room to run. By the way, this is nice. We took out the 38.2 of, this is Dow Jones, right? So maybe 50% retracement is in the cards around 33,000. So that right there is a good target. And like I said, S&P 38.2 targeting this previous support, now resistance, coinciding with 38.2. I think this is what's going to happen is people who sold this bar here, who went short, their main stops, the retail got stopped out here in these bars here. A little more sophisticated players, their stops are sitting right here.
So all you got to do is just push it just a little bit. You're going to have a spike into the liquidity pool that is here. All these stop losses basically going to run the stops, and then we can reverse. So I'll play I want to see that pop, and if we started reversing around these levels, I might take a step up to the short side. But I want to see this pop of stop losses first into this resistance, which will again can form then a inverted head and shoulders, and we can determine whether so this is going to be shoulder, head, and the shoulder that it will build. So that's basically what I'm looking at on for tomorrow. Where is this thing? Let's take a look at Bitcoin, which I pointed out earlier in the live webinar. Oops, so check this out. This is 1 hour chart. This started selling off around 9 a.m. This is a 9 a.m. bar from 9 to 10. Meanwhile, Nasdaq, S&P, and basically all risk was catching a bid, and the Bitcoin and ETH both got sold off heavily. And I was telling people on the live webinar basically that this is pure price manipulation, and how important it is to look at other markets to see whether or not they're confirming this move. And this was a bullshit move to run the stops. Which stops are you talking about? Again, you have to understand the context of this whole situation. Like I was explaining to you where the S&P stops are. Let me show you again. Here, see this swing high? Those stops are sitting right there for people who are still short. So that hence for the possible squeeze to run those stops. So this is exactly what happened with the leveraged dip buyers in Bitcoin and ETH today. What happened was people who were accumulating here, they see this range, their stops are below this range. So what happened was people who are trading, obviously, I'm not talking about hodlers that are accumulating for years to hold. I'm talking about day traders and people who trade on margin with a 50x and 100x. So basically what happened was they just got liquidated. This is liquidation of their accounts, their positions, and a reversal, because everything was catching a bid. Nothing was showing that this should be happening, because there was no news, there was nothing, and this was straight up big boys manipulating the price to push the price, because they know that all of the stops were sitting below this level here, and that's it. So that's what happened with Bitcoin, and that's why you have to look at all markets and see if. Because when shit hits the fan, you'll see it hit the fan on every single market. Nothing is going to be, Nasdaq is not going to be going up like to the moon while Bitcoin is crashing. Unless Bitcoin got banned or something in the United States, that's another question. But again, like I said, there was no news. And if there's no news and everything else is just moving one direction and Bitcoin was moving in the other direction, I said that this is a bullshit move. Watch out for it, blah, blah, blah. It turned out to be completely on point. So that was Bitcoin. I think we're also long gold. It's having some trouble, to be honest. We're still making higher highs and higher lows. So, but this needs to rally from here. If we start trading below this point, I think highly likely we're going to retest this previous resistance turn support here. We're going to retest, maybe draw some kind of head and shoulders pattern, and go back down. You can see there was a triple divergence of those triple drive peaks here. So maybe we just need to go sideways a little bit before continuing back up. But this is a 1 hour chart too. Let me actually jump on the 4 hour chart. So yeah, this is not looking super bullish anymore. It still can. It still can, like I said. So low, 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 high, 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 high. So this thing needs to take out 1856, 57. Close above and start rallying before we go back higher. So let me actually make this different color. Here's red. You can see if you measure the fibs here, we retraced exactly to 38.2, close below it, close. We basically tag, and people took profit here. This is a minimum not required, but this is usually if the downtrend persists, this satisfies the pullback, and we can roll over. But today's candle finished on the bullish side too. As you can see, this is a hammer. So if we again have a close above tomorrow, above the this candle, I think there is more. We have more room to run. Maybe this 50% fib, and maybe take a peek to 618 around slightly above 1900, somewhere here around 1920 level. And after that, I think we'll reassess the situation, so to speak. But for now, tomorrow is going to be critical for gold. If we start closing below here, I think highly likely we're going to start rolling over and retesting these highs for gold. US dollar. Let's take a look at dollar. Dollar is getting finally correcting. I draw this when we were probably somewhere here a week ago, whatever, and was basically pointing out how technically clean this whole thing is trading. Why was I buying, by the way, a Nasdaq and everything else? Because the dollar was having this trouble rallying more. You can see that this was an extremely overextended move when it was here without all of this, right? And that it needed to correct a little bit. And that's exactly what happened. You got a head and shoulders pattern. This pattern targets here around 101 and change. We've almost there. I think we have a little bit more to run. I still have Aussie and New Zealand trades running to the long side. So watch out for this breakout. Basically, when we were here, I said, watch for this break to target these highs. And it's happening. Let me remove all this. So now I'm looking at this. Again, same story, exactly the same story. So this is an inverted head and shoulders too. Shoulder, head, shoulder. This was the neckline here, and this is the target. So targeting this 38.2 of this leg down is pretty reasonable. So I think if we have started having a close here above, we've consolidated right below to gather momentum, energy to coil. To release the energy in the form of a spike, kind of like it was here. You see the chop, 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 and then release of energy and follow through. So I think we have a good chance of seeing another spike tomorrow, which should mean we'll have a spike in Nasdaq and S&P and everything else like.